Hey, it's Amelia, aka Big Tit.
And I'm Natasha, aka Little Tit.
And together, we're the Graveyard Girls.
Welcome
to today's episode.
Yeah, it's one of mine.
It is one of yours. And what do you have for me today?
Don't worry, it's not aliens.
Okay, not aliens. And just obviously people watching this now won't know, but we've just recorded another episode and it was really disgusting. So is this one going to be just as disgusting?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. We don't know what happened to these people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm
guessing they disappeared.
They did disappear. Unfortunately.
My top marks for my detective skills there.
So, in August 2006.
Oh, so quite modern.
Yes, we're going back a bit, but then it confused me because it was like 2006. I was like, what is that number? So, 3 teenagers disappeared in Toronto, Canada. Mm-hmm. The 3 of them were friends, and they are Eve Ho, her boyfriend Jackie Lee, or Lai, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Kevin Lim. Eve and Jackie were 17 at the time of their disappearance, and Kevin was 18.
Okay, so all a similar age.
Kevin is Eve's childhood friend, so they're all very good, very close together.
Okay.
5 days before they disappeared, the body of their missing friend was found.
Oh.
Philip Sitt went missing September 2005. Now, their disappearances are not linked to Philip at all.
Oh, okay.
And I'll kind of get into it in a bit.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, because I was saying, did they go missing in the process of trying to find him?
Oh, okay. I thought you might have been like, oh, they killed him, so they ran.
Oh, no. I wondered if they went looking for him because he'd been reported missing and then they went missing.
That could
like
be
a Pied Piper.
That could be an interesting
Someone
theory.
carrying them away.
That's an interesting theory. Now, they're only linked to his death. Well, linked to him because they were friends. They're not linked to his death. And it's just mysterious because they went missing a year after he went missing.
Oh, okay. So not like a few days then. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're only linked to him because they're friends, and it's not believed that they're connected to his death in any way. So back in 2007, Constable Scott Mills admitted the investigators were stymied. They had no idea what happened to Philip or the missing friends. He said, "We've either got foul play, or I would like to look on the hopeful side that for one reason or another, they're scared and they're hiding. We just don't know."
I'm going to go with they're probably dead.
So Eve had arranged to meet up with her best friend, but she never showed up. They were supposed to meet at the mall, I believe.
Okay.
And she was constantly on her phone to her best friend, so never telling her anything or letting her know she was going to run away or not. It's very suspicious. You got a little bee. Jackie was last seen by his mother when she left their Scarborough apartment to go work in the morning. He spoke to his mum on the phone later that day. That was the last time she heard of him or from him. Kevin was last seen at his Scarborough home by his grandmother. He told her he was going to the store to buy a drink. So to make a timeline event of things to make it a bit clearer, September 2005, Philip goes missing.
Okay.
August 9th, 2006, Philip's body is discovered in the small town of King outside of Toronto. The area where his body is found is very tiny. It's apparently just like 2 streets long. It's mostly farms and forest.
Is it near to where he lived?
Not that close. It's
okay.
I'll tell you how far away it is.
So they
We're about an hour away.
Dumped there?
Yeah, so he's definitely dumped there. I don't know if the kids can drive. So yeah, again, they're not linked to his death at all. So August 14th, 2006, this is when Eve Ho, Kevin Lim and Jackie Lee disappear.
Right, okay.
August 25th, the murder of Philip is made public. And this is important because they disappeared before the discovery was announced to the public.
But he had been found.
He had been found before they disappeared,
they had announced.
Yes.
Okay.
So, possible theories are one or all 3 had something to do with Philip's murder, and they kind of knew a body had been found where they possibly dumped it.
I'm not convinced of that.
No, especially seen as they're children. Like, why would kids murder another kid and kind of get away with it for a year and then run.
Yeah, why run then?
Yeah.
Why not run at the time it happened?
Another theory is they witnessed his murder and ran after a body was discovered, but their bank account was never touched again.
Yeah.
Because they're Asian Canadians, it's kind of believed they like left the country and went to their respective countries. I'm not sure if they're all like Chinese or
I was going to say their names sound quite Chinese.
They're definitely Asian. I wasn't sure on which country their families had originally come from, but they all are all Asian Canadians. Another theory is that there is a reported gang problem in Toronto, which I didn't know about this, so maybe...
Okay. But what would their reasons for taking children be? What sort of gang is it?
There's many gangs. It could be human trafficking.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because if they're younger, especially the girl, they could sell her off for sex, couldn't they? What they do with I suppose there's still the market for the boys, isn't there?
Yeah, unfortunately. There's many different... It's horrible because, like, all these families, all in this one small area.
I don't know, it's a bit strange, this one.
Another theory is a possible hate crime as they are Asian Canadians.
Yeah, that would make more sense, I think. Not that it's right or nice, but it makes sense. It
is just weird that they've all disappeared on the same day. The three. Yeah. Within a year
But had they originally agreed to meet each other, or it just so happened they were going to be in a similar area?
Eve was going to meet her best friend, I believe, in the mall or to go do something. The other two were kind of separate, doing their own thing. I don't believe they were going to meet each other. Could she have lied
about who she was going to meet, and she was already previously planning to meet the boys? And thinking family-wise about their age, would her family have frowned upon her meeting two boys? So did she lie about meeting another friend?
Her best friend said she was going to meet her.
Oh, right, okay.
So unless, like, she's in on the... Like, oh, yeah, she was going to meet me.
Yeah.
But after all this time, you would have thought that she'd be like, actually, no.
Oh, I was covering for her.
Yeah. Especially if your best friend goes missing. You kind of would maybe give it a day and be like, actually, no, I'm worried.
Yeah.
This is what she was actually going to do.
Yeah, you would do, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I think they were fine with her, like...
Would they normally have met up, them three? Like, were they in the same friendship group? Or were they more like acquaintances?
I think they were more acquaintances of Philip.
Right, okay.
The murdered boy who was found. Obviously, Jackie and Eve were dating, so they were obviously closer. I believe Kevin was also a close-ish friend.
Yeah, because I'm wondering then if Eve had met up with a mate, would it have been like a double date?
Okay, yeah, maybe. But then her boyfriend wasn't going to. Yes.
Interesting.
It's not...
It'd be interesting to know, like, what other crimes were going on at the time. Like, is it just exclusively these, or has there been other things, like, around the decade? Because there's been others at the same time.
Yeah, trying to find this case, it was very hard because, like, Toronto teens missing, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of information and misinformation.
Teenagers go missing all the time, so it's really hard to keep track of it. But it does almost... I don't want to say they're linked.
But they're teenagers. They are
all from
Asian.
The same group. If it was someone pre-spine, like maybe they... Like, that's their particular victim. Let's say they killed the first one, got a bit of a taste for it, wanted to kill the others. And then they would know, because they're coming in a friendship group, it'd be quite easy to follow them ranks. If you follow them around, found the first victim, it's not going to take you much to get the others. The only thing with that is, for all three to disappear on the same day and time...
It's like, were the three together in order for you to do it? Or was it,
they
like...
separate?
Yeah. And it just happened to be on the same day.
Because if there's three of them, you would have thought they'd need at least more than one person to get them. Cause...
Unless it's all someone they know and that person kind of like...
Yeah, I suppose if they did like some sort of party and like invite them around, put something in the drink, they've then drugged them all. Once they're drugged, it'd be easy then to restrain them.
Yeah.
And then by the time they come round, it's a bit too late, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a risk taking three, isn't it? If you're a lone person. It's just weird. I don't understand. Maybe the girlfriend and the boyfriend, but it's the other friend. So they must have been planning to go somewhere. Yeah,
there are theories of like, the three of them kind of like disappeared together into like...
Because I don't see how they would have disappeared separately. Like, if they've all disappeared separately, that's a massive coincidence. So I feel like they must have been planning to go somewhere together. Or maybe the boys were together.
Yeah, because they both were in the Scarborough area. I don't know where Eve was.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Well, even if Eve was originally going to meet her other friend, let's say the boys were together, let's say one's friends with her boyfriend, the boyfriend texts her and goes, oh, let's meet up. My mate's with me. If they were going towards more, like, we'll meet you there on the way.
Yeah.
Maybe they ended up meeting before them, or for whatever reason, she didn't contact her friend to say, I'm not meeting you anymore, or I'll meet you later, and they get abducted in that time. That would make more sense for them all to be together. But they must have been together. I don't see, it would be a massive coincidence if they were all took separately on the same day.
Yeah.
They had to have been together, which suggests they all went somewhere together. So I'm sort of thinking, would the boys have been together, maybe got invited somewhere, and then he's invited Eve along because she's his girlfriend?
Oh yeah, and then she's like going to meet up with her friend later. She's just not said where she's coming from to meet her. Yeah. No, it's horrible because like the police don't know anything. Like they're teenagers, they're always on the phone, but then there's like they never get in contact.
Have they found anything else with them?
Nope.
They're not flagged anything up.
Nope. They've not. They don't believe they've left the country. If they have, it would have been on a...
Yeah, because for teenagers, they would have left some... They're not that sophisticated that they could have left no trail of going anywhere. They
obviously didn't have money. If they had a bank account, it was very little money.
Could any of them drive?
I don't know about that.
Because I'm wondering, could they have... This sounds horrible, but kind of weirdly makes it a bit better. If one of them had a car and was driving, could they have had an accident somewhere and the car was just not found? And like they're in a ditch somewhere?
Maybe.
No, I'm saying it's not very nice for them. They're still dead at the end of the day.
No, but it's like
a
the
road
nicest...
accident. Yeah, if they were going somewhere, it's better than them being abducted or like...
It's the lesser
tortured,
of evils, yeah.
Because if it's like in a remote area and if there's like a hilly or a cliffy area that's not really... People don't walk there or something and they've gone off the edge of something in a car...
Yeah, unless like maybe one of them was like checking police records, seeing if bodies have been found. Not that they have anything to do with Philip's death, but maybe like they've discovered like a body has been found, and then maybe they go travel to that area, but they have an accident on the way.
Yeah.
Because
they must have been together. I don't see how it could have been separately.
No.
But I'm just thinking, how would they have all got together? Surely there would have been... But then even then, you would have expected if the police pulled the phone records, even if they didn't have the phones, there would have been communication between them of them agreeing to meet up.
Unless,
I mean, it could be a chance encounter, like he was with his mate and they bumped into her on the way, so they didn't do it over text.
Yeah, if they weren't together, it was definitely targeted.
Yeah. It's a planned attack, but then you'd need a gang.
Yeah.
And that would be gang related because that's the only way you could do that.
And I'm not sure. I'm assuming there'll be gangs of like different people, different.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant like drug gangs.
It could be drug gangs,
whether
or
it was
could
trafficking.
Be human trafficking. It could just be like, there's postcode gangs where it's like you're not allowed in our patch. Maybe it could be that.
I know what you mean.
It's just it's
a bit hard to make a theory.
It is
on this one,
and there's not much information on it, so I can't give too much information. But yeah, their family's still looking. I believe they've even like looked into Asian countries. They've never like...
I don't think they've left the country. I don't think as kids they would have been sophisticated enough to have planned it to... Like, they would have had to have months of planning, which means something would have come up in internet history, all the other stuff. You know what I mean? There's no way they wouldn't have left any trace.
Even if they crossed the border into America, something would have been found.
Yeah.
And if like you can't find someone, either you're very, very good at hiding your tracks, or unfortunately... They might not be alive.
But if you want to go with the runaway thing, what would their reason be? Other than people hypothesizing having something to do with Philip's death, but I don't think that was linked.
I don't know. It could be many different theories. I mean, like, teenagers run away from parents for no reason, don't they?
Yeah, but it's normally a single child, isn't it? Or a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, unless it was a triple.
Well, I was going to say, a love triangle.
No, you never know.
Maybe.
You never know. Yeah. It's not nice when kids disappear and then there's no.
No, I don't like that. Because I know they're not young, but...
They're still babies in their parents' eyes.
Yeah, they're not adults. They're not sensible and responsible. They might like to think they are, but they're not really, are they?
Their families have released, like, statements, like, addressing, like, the kids, like, please come home or other things. It's just... Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're a bit deaded. It sounds horrible, but I'm hoping, I said, maybe the car crash hypothesis is a thing.
But if anyone's listening and they know these people...
Or, if they know that, or if they've got more information that they can send us about the case. Because you know some countries, they keep stuff within it, like other countries from the outside, we can't get access to it.
Yeah, because I did see some stuff on Reddit and I'm like, okay, I've not seen any of this, so I don't know if I can like include this because it might not be
I know there
real.
was American case. I've kept the stuff aside and I might still cover it, but there's one I really wanted. And I was trying to get the newspaper, like big ones, where it's like News of World Life, so we can still get it over here. But yeah, there were some of the articles and someone made a comment about something. It was like from so-and-so newspaper, and I tried to get the newspaper, but because it's an exclusive, like a local American one, we didn't have access to it. I was like, for fuck's sake, I can't check it. And I really, because if it was a piece of information, it would have been a really key piece of information. But I was like, why none of the others reporting on it?
Or you only get like a little access. You'd see like a few words and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and he goes, or apply for access to this. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. So yeah. I don't know. I'll have to do a bit more digging on that one.
I did listen to a podcast called The Shocking Details to hear this case. They do fill it out more, and rather than me like just copy and paste what they say, I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, just do this. So I'd recommend listening to their podcast on it. But yeah, there's not really anything on it other than what I've...
it's a genuine mystery as to where they've gone.
Yeah.
I said
hopefully
maybe
they're found.
Yeah, but whether it's dead or alive. I know it sounds horrible, but at least even if they're just found dead, at least then the families know what happened.
Closure, yeah. It's
the not knowing, isn't it? Because those parents will have all those years of thinking, will they just walk through the door one day? And I don't. That's the bit I think would get me. I think in some respects I'd rather them be dead and then they're found, and then obviously you want your family alive, but at least there's no more wondering anymore.
No, because then like you can't move on with your life. Because like, what if you need to move because you can no longer afford to live in the house, but that's the house that they know.
Yeah, and then they go back there after you've left. Yeah.
Or you can't live in that house anymore because it's just reminds you of them.
Much.
And it's just heartbreaking. And it's funny,
if they've got other siblings, that'd be hard on them as well. Because I bet it'd be hard for the parents not then to be all consuming on the other ones. Like, no, you can't go anywhere.
But yeah.
Because you imagine from the parents' perspective, if you had any more siblings, you wouldn't want them to go out anywhere, would you?
Well, no.
Even as much as you try to be like, well, it's a freak thing, it won't happen again, it'd also be in the back of your mind all the time. So you'd almost not smother the other child, but in a way
you would. Yeah. It's just like, it's like I don't want to cover the Madeleine McCann case because that's just like a missing child, me off. And it pisses me off as well because that should never have happened.
Yeah, it should never happen. Her parents should be in jail regardless for neglect. I don't see how they haven't had the other kids taken off them.
Yeah, they shouldn't have left her.
It's only because they're doctors and they've got money and all that other crap. That's the only way they've got away with it. But yeah, and also the whole new people keep coming forward and claiming to be her, and then they're doing a DNA thing, but it takes months. That just angers me. I was like, if it was generally them, like the police would find it straight away. They're not going to wait months for a DNA test, are they? It's just, when things like that crop up, I'm like, nope.
Especially when she's like, I only have memories from when I was 4 years old. I don't remember anything before then. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, there's only the odd thing, unless something really significant happened before then. You don't really remember.
No. But yeah, missing children, like these are teenagers, they're kind of aware of surroundings, they're aware of like what's happening. They could have been taken, but
it'd have to be more ambush style, like surprise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's different from a child.
I don't think they left of their own accord.
No, especially one's on the way to the store, one speaks to his mum. Those two would probably definitely together in the area.
Yeah, because if you wanted to try and get away, you'd make out a plan that you're going with someone for the whole day to account, like to give you enough time to get away before your parents became concerned. You won't just not say anything and then disappear because you've got the risk of the parents going, oh, where did they go? And then they immediately start looking for them. Whereas if like, not saying like if I wanted to go missing, I'd be like, yeah, I'm staying at Natasha's for a couple of days. So like the people in your house won't worry. They're like, oh, she's just at Natasha's for a few days.
You give them, you're like, oh, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I don't think
you give yourself an alibi until
so they don't worry. Yeah. And then it gives you enough time to get away. Yeah, I don't think they went of their own accord, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just their case is obviously linked to their friends because it looks on the outside very suspicious that they disappear like a year after their friend's been found, and then if only a few days after the body's been found. But then if you look into it, they probably didn't even know that his body had been found.
And also, you would have thought if it was a killer, they'd maybe dump in a similar area. You would have expected to find their bodies, wouldn't you? Not guaranteed, but
unless because his body had been found and they like released it to the public, he was like, or the killer, sorry, if there was a killer, he'd be like, well, I can't use that dumping ground anymore.
Yeah, find another one. Yeah. But even then, you wouldn't have expected them to have gone too far.
Canada's massive. Lots of wilderness, bears and stuff.
I know, but would you, if you'd kill someone, would you want to travel halfway around the country with a dead body? You'd want to get rid of it at the earliest opportunity, wouldn't you?
True, yeah.
Interesting. But yeah.
Very short.
I think that's it for today.
It is.
So in the meantime,
keep creeping.
And we'll keep digging.